So I might have bought something, maybe a questionable financial decision, maybe not, I don't know yet. But about a week ago, my girlfriend found a vehicle on Craigslist. She's the Craigslist queen. She loves perusing, sends me like a dozen links a day of all of the cool stuff she finds. And normally, I have the self-restraint to just say, no, I can't go buy that right now. But this one, stuff happens, right? So last night we drove down to Temecula and picked this up. I sent the guy an offer a week ago, and he finally came around to what is admittedly maybe a little bit of a low ball, but by that point it was a done deal. We had to go pick it up. And I'm so stoked on this thing. I can't believe I own it. This is gonna be sick. If you know me well, you know that the clean paint on the Ferrari is not normally the type of thing that I do. I like stuff that, you know, shows its age and is a bit more rough and tumble, nitty gritty. I bought this thing for the Patina. It is incredible. One of the best patinas I have ever seen. I'd have bought any car that it was on. I'd have said, that's too sick, I gotta have it. But it just so happens to be on a specific vehicle that I've wanted for ages. It was the perfect storm, couldn't say no. So now we got another project to work on. I got more content coming. This will be cool, I think. I hope you guys like it, because I'm stoked on it. So I'll shut up, let me show it to you. So I wanted to do the full walk around outside, but the neighbors are just being way too loud today. Not their fault, but had to push this thing inside so I can show you all of the details. If you haven't figured it out already, it's a 1955 Chevy Apache pickup, and I am in love with this thing. It is incredible. I mean, look at this patina. I can't stop looking at it and staring at it all day long. So let's do the walk around. Let me show you guys all the details and kind of tell you the story about this thing. Did I mention the patina yet? All right, I'm sorry. We can actually talk about other stuff. So this truck, it looks really rough, and by most standards, it honestly is. We've got a pretty dented hood on this thing, and we've got a dented roof panel, but I'm just gonna push both of them back out, and whatever wrinkles remain is totally fine with me. And the bed is, well, it's gone. All of the wood has rotted away, and the moisture trapped by the wood has left for some rusty bed components. But other than that, honestly, this thing's quite rust-free aside from what you see on the surface. It's got a rusty hinge pocket in this door, and the base of the fender on the other side is rusted out, but otherwise, it's nice. I mean, even the roof rails, it looks real bad, but there's no rot up here. You could sandblast this and completely save it, no problem whatsoever. It's there's nothing where you're gonna like push through with a screwdriver or anything. It's really solid. Same thing with the inside. I mean, looks rough, but just incredibly solid bones. Even the windshield frame is in great shape. So this truck's gonna be perfect for what I wanna do with it, which honestly, it's pretty simple. I'm not looking to do anything crazy. We'll probably build a chassis for it, something that we can set flat on the ground. I'd love for this thing to just lay out, and then it needs a huge motor in it, some modern brakes, and I'd love to drive this thing every day. I'm looking for a daily that's a bit smaller than the crew cab long bed OBS, and this thing would be pretty cool to beat around in on occasion. So hopefully that's what we'll do with it. Now, the chassis on this thing, it's fine. It's not great. I mean, it's got a ton of surface rust on it. There's no rot anywhere. I mean, this frame is totally usable if it would work for what we're doing. I don't think I'll keep it unless we're really trying to penny pinch and do something kind of quick and dirty and just change the suspension setup on this, but we'll probably get rid of it and build something custom. As you can tell, it's antiquated. It's not a box chassis. It's got big, I believe they call these swing arms on this style axle, but it's not a 4-link or anything, so real simple. Up front, we've got a dead axle, and the front leaf springs are broken on both sides. So we've got a leaf spring on this side that's snapped, and then same thing over here. You can kind of see it hanging down. And plenty of, like I said, surface rust everywhere, but I mean, if you wanted to save this truck, you could. You could sandblast it. It's just got so much character, though. You guys are going to have to be patient with me. I'm going to talk about the patina for just a minute. You can look at any square inch on this truck, and there's just so much detail in it. Every square inch tells a story, and I just love the coloration of it. The blue, the white, and of course the reddish brown. It's just phenomenal. I love it. The colors are killer. I've always been a fan of blue patinaed or patinated trucks, and when this one popped up, I just had to jump on it. The glass is a bit worse for wear. We got a bullet hole in the passenger window, and the driver's window is totally cracked, but they're gonna clean up really well. I was kind of rubbing on the glass earlier. I think a good cleanup will make these relatively optically clear, and in that case, I'm just gonna leave the glass. I don't wanna replace it. It's got too much character. We're just gonna leave it alone. Got some more glass damage over here. So, it's relatively rough. Inside, we're missing the seat. I think all we'll do is put a seat in it, nice reupholstered, comfortable seat, and we'll replace the dash pad, which is pretty nasty, but otherwise, we'll leave the interior alone. And what's pretty amazing is that the interior itself, the sheet metal's in great shape. You know, if we open up, you know, the cab corners are completely rot-free. I mean, there's some rust, but like I said, all of this is totally savable if you wanted to. It's totally good to leave it as is, which is what I'm gonna do. And as grody as all this stuff looks, there's no holes anywhere. I mean, this is all in really sound shape. It's good metal, good bones, and I'm really happy with it. I mean, this is just a fantastic truck for what I'm trying to do. And yeah, maybe I'm a little bit too excited over what is, in most people's eyes, a huge piece of junk, because this truck, it's not a nice truck, but it is perfect. It's perfect for what I want. I'm so jazzed on it. Let's take a look under the hood. She's a little old and tired looking in here. I have no idea if it would fire up. I'm not even gonna bother trying to make this thing run unless I'm real bored, but it's got a lot of room for a very big engine, and that's what's exciting to me. We can put anything we want in here, so we're putting something big. It needs to be able to do a mean sitter. That's all I really care about. Gas economy, fuel economy be damned. But as you guys can see, even things like the battery box, it's in really good shape. Something's been living in here. I'm sure there's all sorts of droppings on top of the motor. Got all sorts of cobwebs. Just a little sad. Honestly, I bet the engine would fire up if we really wanted it to. I believe it's, I don't know, a 350 or something of the sort. One of you guys who knows your stuff can tell me if that's what came in it. I don't think that it is, because I was being told by someone that the kind of the peak on the block symbol down here shows that it's, I don't know, a different cylinder head or something. I don't really care, to be honest with you, but maybe somebody will know. There's no inner skin on the hood, so I think it's going to be pretty easy to pop that guy up and out. It's really not a crazy dent, so we'll just kind of push on it and it'll look better. It'll be perfect. This thing's also got a pretty cool story behind it too, at least from the puzzle pieces I've put together. What I've been told is that this thing was originally owned by the grandfather of the guy that I bought it from. And who knows when he sold it. The truck got sold and went off to who knows where. But the guy I bought it from hired a private investigator to find this truck, and he did. He found it somewhere, I believe, in Riverside County. And when it was found, it was pretty much in this condition, except for worse. It was full of trash, full of old drug paraphernalia. It had been owned by what sounds like a meth den or something of the sort. It was in terrible, terrible shape, and they did a lot of cleanup to this thing in order to get it to where it is now. However, he had to move out of the country, which means he had to sell it, and the rest is history. I brought it home. On the back of the cab, we do have this homemade, very homemade window guard. It's screwed right into the sheet metal. There's no nuts on the back of it. I might pull it off and see what it looks like without it on there. If it's in terrible shape, we'll just put that back. It's not the worst looking thing. I mean, it's pretty silly, but it fits the truck. It's fine. The fenders are in decent shape. The tailgate is, it's pretty rough looking. It's got all sorts of bullet holes in it and pretty nasty, but it's just got so much texture in it. I'm not upset about it. I mean, you can't get this any other way than just kind of earning it, so it's fine with me. And then we do have a box on this side. There's nothing in it, just except for some rust. But pretty cool. Matches the truck, bolted down. Don't know if that was there originally, probably not. There you guys have it. That's the quick walk around. So like I said, it's a rough truck. It did not drive here, to be clear. This thing is a pretty big pile, but it's my pile, and I am thrilled about it. This thing is so cool. I am just stoked to own this thing, stoked to build it. It'll be a slow burn. We're just gonna take our time with this thing. Custom chassis, big motor, eventual daily. But we gotta keep our focus on the Ferrari, but I am about to hit some time periods in the Ferrari where I'm not gonna have anything to do. I'm about to be waiting on parts. The dry sump setup's still 5 weeks out. The engine is 16 weeks away. You know, who knows when my bodywork is gonna show up. We got a lot of time to kill, and while there is still things to do to this car, I'm at least gonna have some weekends free, right? Might as well dive into a second project, and hopefully you guys are just as into this thing, because this is the kind of stuff that also turns my gears. Anything with wheels on it I love, so getting to, you know, simultaneously build a time attack race car and a rusted old Chevy, I'm having the time of my life. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you want to see as we build this thing. It's going to be a blast. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you for joining along. I appreciate the support as always. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. We'll be back on the Ferrari.